Hey guys, what's up? This is Zoner. I'm back with my first episode of the Pushing to 1100 series. So I've got a few attacks I'm going to showcase today. I think I'm going to try to keep each episode to 4 attacks, and I'm just going to highlight some interesting attacks. Originally I thought that I was going to be able to get this whole series out and just show every single attack on the way up to 1100, but oh my gosh, I've gone on some massive losing streaks. And it's just back and forth. I was at 1094 earlier today, and it's just, I went all the way back down to like 1,000. So, and in the matter of like 10 minutes, really, just a few attacks. You play for 10 minutes, and then you're down 100 cups. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cherry pick the few most exciting or most notable, best attacks from myself here. So we can get some more entertaining footage, which will be good. Because I'm not gonna show you every single attack I've done, just because honestly most of them are quite poor. You wouldn't want to watch them. You're not gonna get anything from it, other than learning exactly what not to do. So go ahead and take a look at this. Right here, basically I'm just going with my normal strategy of just rushing them with lots of small troops on one side. I really feel like that lets me build up my elixir, because even if they were to start pushing on the right side, I've got all those troops to block them. It's a good method for defense. It's not a very strong offense, obviously, because just about anything can take out those little goblin spear throwers or the skeletons. But you'll see I started putting a tank down so they can build up, which is the important part here. You'll note that there's now a lot of them coming in to do some damage, which is really good for, two reasons. You got a good distraction while you're trying to, again, build up more elixir to get more stuff out. But it's also nice because, a lot of those little troops, that one little tower cannot take them out that quickly. So they do actually manage to get a lot of damage out on it. Now see, they got that baby dragon down in there, and I played 0 defense as that thing came in. So of course we lost a crown to that there. But as you see up in the top right hand corner, we are just absolutely stacked with troops up there. Even that fireball. See, that fireball really lost them this game. You'll notice that fireball missed all of my crucial troops, and my witch survived from that, my Valkyrie survived from that, and again my skeleton survived from that. So look at that. The skeleton managed to kill off the witch and the prince, and that's just a huge elixir drain for them. This game is all about trades, really. As I'm pushing up, I'm realizing more and more that this is like very similar to chess. It's in a way you want to make sure that you're trading your elixir for more elixir than what they are using. You want to make sure you're coming out on top as a profit. And as you see there, I made lots of good trades in that battle, and that won me that. So going to the second one here against Aquila number 1. Obviously they were the number 1 Aquila. So here we go. They what are they doing here? They're gonna start out with their skeleton rush. I noticed when you pair a skeleton trap and a witch, that's actually not a bad idea. I see that a lot with the skeleton army as well with the witch. That's actually a very powerful strategy, even though that the skeletons were such a low level. Just having a witch behind there to keep putting more skeletons out on the field, it's very strong. It really is. It's very strong. I'm trying to defend a little bit here, and you just see they're putting out that goblin barrel. Man, I gotta say, the goblin barrel is one of the most overpowered weapons in your arsenal right now. Really, that card is just crazy. I really do think that if you did not do anything but play defense for an entire match and just shoot out 3 goblin barrels at one person, at one tower, that would be it. Like you'd have a safe crown that way. I don't have a goblin barrel yet, but when I unlock it, I'm gonna actually give a shot at that strategy and see if I just play some very strong defense and keep my towers secure, and then try to grab 1 crown there at the end. So we'll see here. I've made some unfortunate trades, and now they have the offensive advantage on me. And of course, I'm likely going to lose this tower down here if I don't start putting out some kind of defense. There's just so many skeletons down there. We finally get the witch down, but those skeletons almost had me. The minions are very, very good because against skeletons, the skeletons can't attack your minions, so it's not a bad trade there. As long as you're on your side, they'll stay alive, they'll fly above them, and they'll just kind of wipe them out pretty quickly as well, because there's 3 of them. So I got a witch out finally. I'm finally starting to be slightly offensive here. And I'll notice it's sometimes very hard when you get caught off guard. You end up being on defense. And again, here's the goblin barrel. That's what I'm talking about. That thing is just like, even if I had put troops down there, it's so hard to defend against. It really is such a strong card. So here we have it. That tower is gone. You know, at the amount of health it has left, even if my skeleton bomber, of course, you know, dies, there's his bomb. It's gonna blow it up either way. They've managed to kill my witch, and now see they're being very offensive here. And I started placing my my spawn buildings up in the front to just give me an extra layer of defense. It's not always the smartest idea, but it does serve as a slight roadblock for them. And again, I put a giant skeleton down to, you know, do exactly that, blow up all their troops. That's probably one of the best trades you can make. If you're ever in those moments where you notice that you're being completely overrun by the enemy troops, and they are just bunched up on top of your town hall or on one of your towers, go ahead and wait just a moment for that skeleton bomber, because it is worth it. If you don't have like a fireball, or you know, the archer volley, or maybe even like a lightning strike or the rocket in store, and all you got is that skeleton's a very effective troop at getting the job done. You'll see here, if my skeleton can make it up to those two witches, which is the goal here, I'll be able to kill them both with the bomb. I don't think he did though. I think unfortunately we only got one witch, but that's okay. And again with that goblin barrel, I mean, just massive amounts of damage going out to my town hall down there. Slightly less than usual though. With the two defenses shooting at the goblins, that actually managed to take care of it relatively quickly. So that was a slight waste of elixir on their part, which is good, because again, that was a bad trade and they didn't use that elixir for defense, and they are paying the price for it, because as you can see, I've got a massive amount of spawn buildings up there. I've got 4 spawn buildings currently working up in the top there at their spawn, and it's just, they're overrun. It doesn't matter what they do at this point, you know, they're done. And again, that lightning spell that I used at the end, I just want to point out the lightning spell is so useful. If you do unlock the lightning spell, I definitely suggest you use it. It targets 3 different objects and does massive amounts of damage to them. Now, I don't think it does very much splash damage. If I'm wrong about that, correct me in the comments, because I haven't noticed much splash damage coming from the lightning spell. But it does do a very good amount of point damage, just to the 3 units that it targets. And it will always target the 3 strongest units within its radius, which is also a very nice perk to it. So you know you won't miss it. You won't miss anything that's in the circle. So again, with this next attack here, we are already on defense, just because that giant is just so tanky. Look at it, just going all the way down. The good thing is though, is that it gave a moment for my troops to build up. Now, they did notice this and quickly rectified the situation by placing down a fireball. So that was good on them. That was a good trade. Unfortunately for them though, I did manage to get enough elixir stored up to put down that giant skeleton. And we got that bomb all the way down to the towers. So we took out that bomb tower, and of course a huge chunk of the health on their archer tower too. We nearly got that down with the Valkyrie there. I had my fingers crossed at that point. You know, the butt was clenched, but it just didn't happen. And now again, you know, we're not exactly on defense at the moment yet, but it's just kind of scary there sometimes with a dragon versus your small little spawn troops, because the dragon, you know, it'll just take him out quite quickly. And again, they have a bomb tower and some minions out with some skeletons. That was a very poor idea on them, I must say. I think that was a poor trade. I think they might have been a little frantic and trying to just get something out to take down my witch or my spawners. And it was a slightly poor trade, because they didn't manage to kill the witch or do anything really with those placements, so it was just a lot of elixir down the drain for them. Now again, see, that was a good placement of the fireball. That was a good trade, took out my witch, but again, the skeleton made it all the way to the town hall, which was very positive. I don't know what we're gonna call that thing. I'm gonna start calling it a town hall. I guess if that works for you guys, that's what it's gonna be. If you'd rather me call it something else though, just leave a note in the comments. We'll try to keep it within the realm of Clash. And I mean, calling it the banana tree wouldn't be too awful, but it's just sometimes it'd be confusing for some new people watching the video. And there they go with that goblin barrel. And I don't know if they've gotten the goblin barrel to appear in their deck or their hand too often, because had it appeared, they probably could have used that to get a lot more on me. But overall, that was a game of a good amount of bad trades on their part with some decent trades for me, and that ended up being a 3-crown win. So here's our final battle for the episode. And this person is, of course, level 4, and I'm level 5, so I have a slight advantage over them. So, you know, when I see that, I'm always happy. That's a good thing. I'm not sure how the matchmaking algorithm balances that sort of thing, but it is a happy thought. Now, see, unfortunately, I'm already on defense here. I made some bad decisions placing all those troops on the right while they came in from the left. You know, it's kind of a game of cat and mouse, you know, with choosing which side you're going to start on. You know, it's always a little bit iffy which side you're going to start attacking on, which side you're going to defend from, how you're going to start. And I noticed a lot of people like to place down a tank unit, quickly followed by some sort of damage unit as like a witch or a musketeer, sometimes a prince. We'll see here, though, I make very good use of the barbarians, and this was one of the first battles I used the barbarians in after I unlocked them, and I have to say I'm very pleased with them. They're basically like mini giants, really. They tank so much, they have a lot of health, they do very good amounts of damage. I mean, just watch them go. It's amazing. There's 4 of them, you know, that's the best part, there's 4 of them. I was very impressed with the barbarians. I mean, they basically got that tower for me, so that was... I mean, I think the barbarians are always a good trade. Here they go, though. They're coming back on me. I've got my buildings up in front because I'm trying to save the hit points on my archer tower down there. I don't want to lose that, so I'm making the decision to put those buildings as sort of like meat shields in front of them. The giant skeleton there might not have been the best trade. It ended up being okay because it did take out the P.E.K.KA, the mini P.E.K.KA, sorry, and the baby dragon. But I really just placed it to distract them at the moment, because had they not been distracted, they would have very well made it straight through that goblin hut as well as that archer tower. And I'm really, at this point, I got a minute left. I'm just trying to not let them have a crown. And I've got a good shot at getting the town hall down as well at the moment. But really, with those dragons they're placing, you know, I'm trying to be extremely offensive here, placing all these troops up in the front on their side. I do definitely like making use of that. I think that's a good strategy. But, of course, you know, everything's gone at this point. So, again, we go back to playing defensive. I still am on the offensive point here, though. I placed that witch on the other side. Maybe not the best idea. The witch dies relatively quickly. But I placed the barbarians down there to take care of that mini P.E.K.KA. And again, I placed I think a skeleton spawner right in front of that giant so that it would take the giant's attention and damage off of the tower just for a few seconds. Because again, at this point, I'm just trying to not go into overtime, trying to just save the 1 crown win. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices like that to get an easy win, because at the end of the day, you get the same amount of trophies no matter how many crowns you get. So 1 crown is just as good as 3. But again, that was a win. And that puts us up, that probably put us up about 100 trophies, just those 4 there. You see right there, we're at 1,000, 1,006. Yeah, that'll be part 1 of this. I'm gonna have a lot more of the greater attacks coming out soon. I'm gonna just take some of the highlights. I've had some very interesting attacks happen recently. So stay tuned. I'm gonna try to get out 2 videos tomorrow. I can't promise that, but we're gonna try really hard to squeeze out 2 videos. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends. If you know anybody that's interested in the Clash world or the Supercell games or even mobile gaming in general, just let them know. But thank you for watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next video.